So this will probably be a longer video, so I'll probably lose 90% of you before the end of the sentence. But if you're an injured athlete or an athlete who's dealt with injuries in the past, it might be useful. So I injured myself yesterday, hobbled myself. Before I get into talking about it, a couple disclaimers I'll preface the discussion with. Number one, I am fully aware of the fact that there's people dealing with worse injuries than me and people that have, athletes with millions of dollars on the line. So I don't have any disillusions about the seriousness of my situation, but if I can relate it to anything that anybody's going through, especially youth athletes dealing with injury, and if it's helpful, then I'm happy. Number two, I was not super keen on making a video about this, especially yesterday when I was pissed off and frustrated. But it is the reality of training and trying to drive high performance. And if you're pushing yourself hard, injuries happen. And if I'm going to show all the positive things and all the cool stuff that comes with training, then if I want to be honest and transparent, then I feel like I should share the negative things and the things that come with it. And number three, I'm not a doctor or a physical therapist, so I'll do my very best to stay in my lane and not talk about things I'm not qualified to talk about. But I'll go through the mental side of things, and the reality is too, like strength and conditioning coaches, while we're not doctors and we're not physical therapists, we deal with athletes who are injured from the physical side and the training side and the mental side too. So I'll try to draw connections there. And if it's useful for you, like I said, if you're an injured athlete and it's useful for you, then I'm happy. So I did my hamstring yesterday. Best I can tell, it is a hamstring strain, and the tendon that connects right on the medial side, the inside of the knee. I don't think there's anything torn or anything like that, but I'm going to be sidelined from training the way I want to train for at least a little bit. So initial reactions yesterday from the mental side of things, and this is where I'll try to draw connections with if you're an athlete who's been injured. Pissed off, frustrated, little fear at the beginning because you don't know exactly what the injury is. You don't know the severity of the injury. It was one of those things. It was like an oh shit moment where your body releases all those chemicals and you feel warm and tingly and a little bit numb. So you know something's up, but did a couple quick stability tests, a couple range of motion tests. I don't think anything's structurally damaged. I think it's just a strain. But from the initial mental side of it, you go through the thought process of, for me, it's my job is to train and to train people, and I love to train myself. So all those things are going to be adjusted or look a little different in the immediate future. And then if you're an athlete dealing with an injury and you're making progress and you're doing well, if you're in season, the initial mental reaction of an injury, it sucks. You can't do what you want to do. You feel like you're going to fall behind. And I just started a program a couple of weeks ago that I'm really enjoying, feel like I'm making progress with, and that's going to be put on hold or look a little bit different, at least for the immediate future. Initial reaction from a physical standpoint or quote unquote treatment standpoint, didn't ice or anything yesterday. I kind of want the body to do what it's supposed to do and let the inflammation happen and go through the healing process. I did a little bit of red light, but I didn't do no anti-inflammatories or anything like that. Again, I just want the process to do what it's supposed to do. So then we look, once we get over the pouting phase, look to the future of what the next day or several weeks is going to look like. I'm not going to train today because I don't want to create more muscle damage in other areas of the body. That I want to allocate all my reparative resources, at least initially, to the injury and just let my body chill and deal with the injury. But training next week, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to try to stay on program or adjust things. I'm sure I'm going to be limited in the things that I'm going to be able to do. So what we do with an athlete in the gym who's dealing with an injury is try to train around the injury. We don't just totally shut down the whole operation. So I'll see how things progress over the weekend. And then when we get into Monday, I'm going to do what I can do without pain. and then we would just work from there. If I feel like I'm limited to the point where I can't really do most of the things in the program, then I'll probably put a pause or a hold on the program for the time being. And once I start feeling better, get back on the program. So we'll work around the injury. That's what we do with an athlete in the gym. Like I said, do anything we can do without pain. The other parts of my body still work, so there's no reason I can't train them. And so I guess that's the approach from a physical standpoint. As pain starts to go away, I'll start to do little tests for the hamstring, very controlled lift, stress, or strength type of training. Then once I feel comfortable running, we'll get to running, and we'll just incrementally up the intensity. And then the ultimate test, I think, will be more reactive stuff where it's not a planned movement, it's a reactive movement, and then I'll feel good to go. From a mental standpoint, the initial, I talked about the initial mental reaction, which is probably what a lot of you share if you've dealt with an injury. Also had the knee-jerk reaction yesterday mentally to, from a health standpoint, from a nutritional standpoint, to kind of be like, well, fuck it. I'm hurt. Like, I'm not going to eat the things that I normally would eat and be healthy. I can just have whatever. I didn't finish my session. I'm not eating for anything. That was my initial knee-jerk reaction. And I quickly got over that because everything, it's systemic. Like, it's not just the injury at the injury site that's the problem. It's your mindset, it's your nutrition, it's your habits that are going to help you lead to a quicker recovery. So if I were just throw the baby out with the bathwater and eat whatever I wanted to yesterday, stay up late, have a couple beers to drown my sorrows in, like, that ultimately is going to impede or slow down the recovery process. But also from a mental point of view, if I have a who cares mentality, I think that is impactful and powerful too. So if I'm doing things mentally to, nutrition, sleep, habits, all those things, if I'm doing things that I think are going to be good for my body and help my body operate as best as it can to repair itself, there's value in that. Yes, from a physical standpoint too, because obviously a healthier body is going to repair itself better. But from a mental standpoint too, I think it's hugely valuable to be in a positive state of mind when you're dealing with an injury and illness or anything like that. Just because negativity and stress, and it's all has negative impacts on the system. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So I don't know what the training videos are going to look like for the next few weeks, but I guess I'll stay updated. Again, not for my benefit or for like attention seeking or anything like that, but again, because if there's an athlete who's injured sitting on the couch right now, who's listening, we're almost 8 minutes in, who's still listening to the video, I don't know if anybody is, but if you can get any value out of it, then I'm happy. So yeah, that's where we're at. I hope I didn't ramble too much. And we'll stay updated. Keep crushing it, stay positive, and we'll chat soon.